Okay, this lesson is going to stretch you a little bit, and we won't do a ton of examples. I'll try and keep it short, like maybe 4 problems, but it's going to stretch you a little bit. So I'm going to show you the first example, and then after that, we're going to do a couple practice problems, and then we'll cut it short. Okay, now we're using substitution, remember? And the key is you always want to find something that says x equals something, or you want to find y equals something. Okay, we did that on the last lesson, right? Now, the problem is in these problems, I don't see anything here or I don't see anything here that says x equals something or y equals something. Okay, but what I do see is I just see a y here. Okay, and let me show you this. I'm going to start with this equation because there's just a y, and I like that. Okay, so watch this. 3x plus y equals -1. And what I want to do is I actually want to get this y by itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's move this 3x to the other side. We'll say minus 3x, we'll say minus 3x, and watch what happens. We end up with y equals -3x minus 1. Okay, oh man, I just marked that up like that. I dropped the pen and come on, man. -3x minus 1. Okay, and that makes me happy because now I have something I can substitute because it says y is this, right? Y is this. Now, since we were working with that top problem, we can't substitute that into the top problem. Okay, we have to take this and substitute this into the bottom problem for y because it says y is this junk. So we're going to take this jump, we're going to put them into this bottom equation. So let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to try and do this slowly. We've got -7x. Then we've got plus 7. And where I see a y, I'm going to put a parentheses and put this stuff in there. -3x minus 1 equals 21. Now, we've done this in the past. I've quizzed you on this right here. Okay, we've done this within like the first month of school, first 6 weeks. You can do this. So distribute -7x plus, it's not going to be plus because look, I've got positive 7 times -3x. That's -21x. A positive times a negative is -7 equals 21. Okay, combine like terms. It looks like we get -28x and shoot this guy over there. +7 equals 28. Okay, divide -28, divide -28, and x equals -1. Okay, we're happy about that. Okay, and this problem's longer, but it's like, come on, this high school math, it's time we're starting to get into it now. Everything we've been doing so stinking easy, it's time we have a little bit of work. Okay, so let's go ahead now and substitute this in for x. So we're going to say 3 times our x right there is -1. So we'll say -1 plus y equals -1. Okay, and we know 3 times -1 is -3. And move him over to the other side. +3, +3, and it looks like y is 2. Okay, so our answer, we put the x first, we put the y second, and there you go. There it is. And it's longer. I get it. I totally get it. But we got to be able to do this stuff to be successful in future lessons. All right, it's got to happen. So what I'm going to do now, and you can pause it and write your notes down, do whatever you got to do. Okay, but I'm going to leave number 2 up to you now, and I want you to do number 2. I'm going to make my eraser bigger. What about 20? Oh, why not 30? Let's see what's... Ah, holy smokes. My AirPods just went crazy right there. Okay, I don't like that. I'm going to leave it at 18 because whenever I do that, my AirPods ain't liking it. That's for sure. I'll blow out my eardrums. Freak. I'm going to come back to school next week deaf, and you guys are going to know why. It was problem number 1. Took my ears right out of my freaking brain. Okay. Okay, number 2 on your own. See what you can do. We'll come back and go over it together. Then we'll do number 3 and we'll call it a day. Okay? 3 problems for the second lesson. That ain't bad. All right, so let's get it. I can identify here that y is by itself in problem number 2 at the top equation. So I'm going to focus on that top equation first. I'm going to write it out. 6x plus y equals 5. Okay, now I want this y by itself, so I'm going to move the 6x over. I'm going to say negative 6x, and it looks to me like we have y equals negative 6x plus 5. You could put the 5 first. It could be 5 minus 6x. That's fine. It's still going to work. Okay, trust me, it'll still work. Now, we know that y is or equals this, negative 6x plus 5. So watch. Where we see a y, we're going to substitute that in. That's exactly what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and say, hey, 12x plus 2. Now watch, we're going to substitute this in for y. Negative 6x plus 5, okay, equals 4. Okay, our next step is distribute. So we've got our 12x, which is going to sit out in front. I think this guy becomes minus 12x, right? 12x minus 12x, what do we get here? Plus 10 equals 4. This is a cool problem because watch what happens here. We end up with 10 equals 4. Okay, does 10 equal 4? No, 10 does not equal 4. Okay, that's false. Anytime you have this and it's false, your answer is no solution. Okay, that means really that these lines are parallel. They'll never meet. Okay, 10 does not equal 4, false, no solution. Now, just to let you know, if you ever saw something like this, 6 equals 6, and you see a true statement, you would say infinite solutions. That's what you would say. That's when, hey, the line and the line are the same. Okay, so it's nice that we had that because now you know what to look for, right? You know what to look for in the future when you see something like that. Okay, so sorry I threw you a curveball there. It's okay, but hopefully you got to that point and you got stuck and you're like, 10 equals 4? What do I do? Okay, and then I took you from there to the finish line and showed you what that means. All right? Okay, so I'm thinking, to be honest, I'm thinking one more. I'm really thinking one more, and we can be done for the day with our lessons. Okay, let's take a peek at number 3. Give it a shot. Give it your all. Give it everything you got, and then we'll come back and do it together. Okay, so number 3, you should be able to see that the bottom equation has a y that's just by itself. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with this bottom guy. So I'm going to write it 8x plus y equals 10. Okay, and remember, we want the y by itself. So I'm going to get this 8x over here. Minus 8x, right? And remember, you could write this y equals 10 minus 8x. Okay, I like to write the negative 8x first. Y equals negative 8x plus 10. But remember, if you did it this way, it will totally still work. Okay, now, watch what we have here. This is what y equals. This is what y is. So what we're going to do, since we started on the bottom problem, we're going to come now to the top problem, and we're going to take this and we're going to substitute it in for y. Okay, so let's write this top equation, negative 8x plus 5. Now we're substituting this in for y right there, right? Negative 8x plus 10 equals 2. Okay, we've got to distribute. Boom, boom. Let's see what we get. Negative 8x. What is that? Minus 40x? I can't write, but I think it's minus 40x. Negative 8x, positive 5 times negative 8x. Okay, negative 40x. What do we get here? Plus 50 equals 2. All right, let's go ahead and combine like terms. That's negative 48x. Let's shoot this guy over there by subtracting 50. And we get equals negative 48. Okay, divide negative 48, divide negative 48, and x equals 1. Okay, now we want to substitute that into either equation. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to take him and put him right here, though, for this x. Okay, so we have x is 1. What's 8 times 1? 8 times 1 is just 8. So that becomes 8. We have our plus y equals our 10. I'm going to shoot this guy over. Minus 8, minus 8, and y equals 2. So now we have our point, the point 1, 2. Okay? That's it. Okay, I know it's a lot. Remember, I give you the videos, okay, as a reference. I would pull up the videos during your homework, have them right next to you so it can help you. Use your notes, use your videos, use all the resources you can to be successful, okay? And it's really important that you go through the videos to learn the lessons. Other than that, kids, thank you for your time. For those of you that watched it and went through it with me, I appreciate it. It takes time for me to do this. Yeah, bust your homework out now and get a good score. All right, later.